All right, let's dive right into this explainer and unpack Czechia's incredibly dramatic return to international football's biggest stage. It's a story of absolute resilience, sudden tactical reinvention, and a proud nation fighting tooth and nail to reclaim its spot.
To really understand the immense emotional weight of this tournament for the Czechs, we first have to talk about a massive number: 20. It has been 20 long years since they last played at a men's FIFA World Cup. Just think about that for a second. Imagine waiting 2 full decades for your national team to simply return to the top table. Well, that agonizing wait is finally over.
Section 1. The 20-year wait ends.
To really get why the pressure cooker of expectations is always simmering just below the surface back home, you've got to look at the stark contrast that defines their modern footballing identity. Look at the Czechoslovakia era. 8 World Cup appearances, 2 World Cup final appearances in 1934 and 1962, and a European Championship win in 1976. They were a genuine global superpower. But since becoming an independent nation in the 90s, the Czechia era, they've struggled immensely to qualify. They only made it in 2006, and now, 2026. What you should take away from this is that the 2026 squad isn't just playing for themselves. They carry the incredibly heavy institutional memory of a former footballing giant.
Section 2. A cinematic qualification journey. And wow, calling their road to the 2026 tournament difficult would be the understatement of the century. It was an absolute cinematic roller coaster. Things got incredibly turbulent. In October 2025, they literally hit rock bottom with a humiliating 2-1 loss to the tiny Faroe Islands. We're talking about a nation with just 55,000 people. This shook Czech football to its absolute core. Coach Ivan Hašek was instantly sacked. Then, in December, they brought in 74-year-old Miroslav Koubek. Fast forward to March 2026, under unimaginable pressure, Koubek's men managed to overturn a 2-0 deficit to beat Ireland on penalties. And just days later, they defeated Denmark in another shootout to officially qualify. It was nothing short of a miracle turnaround.
So, who was the catalyst for all this? Miroslav Koubek. Stepping in at 74 years old, what's truly mind-blowing here is that he managed exactly 2 competitive matches before securing World Cup qualification. 2. Through his decades of experience in the Czech domestic league, he just instantly brought this pragmatic stability to a locker room that was in total, complete crisis. Me, and I am sure also the players, will do everything to be at the World Cup. That was Koubek's mindset, and he was absolutely ruthless in his pursuit of it. He made it crystal clear that nothing else mattered. He even made the incredibly controversial, cutthroat decision to strip star midfielder Tomáš Souček of the captaincy to totally reset the locker room culture. It was a massive gamble, handing the armband over to Ladislav Krejci, but man, did it pay dividends when Krejci scored crucial equalizers in both of those playoff games.
Section 3. Tactics of a dark horse.
Okay, so how exactly does this team play under Koubek, and why are they so dangerous? Well, Koubek's genius really lies in his resource efficiency. He relies heavily on the Slavia Prague block. Out of the 26-man roster, 10 players come from the reigning Czech champion Slavia Prague, so they already know exactly how to play together. They form this deeply compact, unyielding 5-4-1 low block defense. Honestly, they don't even care about keeping possession. They essentially pack 9 outfield players behind the ball, completely compress the center of the pitch, force opponents out wide, and thrive on highly direct, efficient counterattacks.
But here is their real secret weapon, and this should absolutely terrify their opponents: their sheer physical size. Just listen to these heights. Goalkeeper Matej Kovar is 196 centimeters. Striker Tomáš Góry is 194. Midfielder Tomáš Souček is 192. And star forward Patrik Schick is 191. They literally don't just look like a football team, they look like a basketball roster crashing the penalty box. They are entirely built to dominate the air.
And all that towering height translates directly to one vital number: 8. That is the number of set-piece goals they scored during qualifying, the absolute highest of any European nation in the entire 2026 cycle. Because of their sheer size and their perfectly rehearsed deliveries, every single corner kick, every free kick, even long throw-ins become a lethal threat. In a tight, tense tournament where the margins are razor thin, that is a massive data-backed advantage for sure. Section 4. Star players and new talents. Now, to make this tactical blueprint actually work, the spine of this team has to be elite, and it is. While Patrik Schick, the Bayer Leverkusen star, is the elite attacking anchor they desperately rely on for goals, Mate Kovar at PSV provides world-class insurance back in the net. Then you've got Ladislav Krejci, the new captain, and the absolute heart of their defense. Tomáš Souček remains the incredibly experienced midfield anchor with 89 caps, and Pavel Schulk, fresh off a brilliant season at Lyon in France, acts as the primary creative engine linking the midfield right up to Schick.
But Kubek isn't just relying on the old guard. He's boldly balancing that veteran grit with raw youth by bringing along 17-year-old sensation Hugo Souček. This kid is a midfield prodigy from Sparta Prague who just recently made his senior debut. Kubek is deliberately accelerating his development by exposing him to the world stage right now, making him a fascinating player to watch for the future of Czech football. When you look at what this return means to the players, you really just have to hear this quote from Patrik Schick. The Czech fans have waited a long time to see us qualify for the biggest tournament in the world, so we're very happy that we can finally be part of it again. Schick actually noted that his own father watched the Czechs play back in Germany in 2006. You can just hear the sheer relief and pride in his words. This generation finally has the chance to step out of the shadows of the past.
Section 5, Group A and the final verdict.
So, what are their actual chances when they finally step onto the pitch this June? Group A is a fascinating mix. You've got Mexico, ranked 15th and playing as co-hosts. South Korea is 22nd. Czechia sits at 44th, and South Africa at 61st. But please, whatever you do not let that 44th FIFA ranking fool you. That number reflects years of past inconsistency, not the gritty team Kubek just built. Against a technically gifted but defensively vulnerable South Korea and an underdog South Africa, this Czech side has the exact physical profile needed to be giant killers in this group.
Their path to the knockout rounds is actually very clear. Step 1, target South Korea's defensive vulnerabilities in their opener in Guadalajara. Step 2, secure a highly probable 3 points against South Africa in Atlanta. If they can execute this exact sequence, securing at least 4 points, they take the pressure completely off Step 3, which is surviving the brutal heat, the high altitude, and that terrifying 80,000 fan atmosphere against Mexico at the Estadio Azteca.
Now, to be a totally impartial explainer here, we have to weigh these immense strengths against some very real vulnerabilities. Yes, their set-piece supremacy, their newfound penalty shootout confidence, and world-class goalkeeping make them a total nightmare to play against. But, and it's a big but, they are heavily dependent on Patrik Schick staying healthy. If he goes down, they really lack a plan B. Plus, Kubek has had almost no time to prepare this squad tactically, and their Central European conditioning could genuinely struggle in the extreme Mexican summer climate.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I'll leave you with this final thought. Are we looking at the ultimate tournament underdog, equipped with the perfect, gritty, giant-killing blueprint to shock the world? Or is this a team whose lack of preparation time and over-reliance on a single striker will see them overwhelmed on the global stage? I'll tell you what, watch closely when they line up for their very first corner kick. That will tell you everything you need to know. Keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next one.